body strength circuit workout for you that is body weight only, so no equipment is needed. We're going to be doing tricep dips, so you'll notice a little different setup today. We're going to need like a coffee table or a bench, something that we can put our hands on to do dips. Now, if you don't have something you can use, do not worry, you can do it on the floor. You would be in sort of this reverse tabletop position, and you would do your tricep dips just like that instead of having your hands on your coffee table, bench, whatever you can find, okay? So don't panic if you don't have one. Pretty straightforward with the structure. I'm going to give you 5 exercises. You do them for 40 seconds each with 20 seconds of rest in between. When you complete all 5, we're going to rest for a full minute, and then we'll repeat. In total, we're going to complete 3 sets of that circuit. I will have modifications playing on the screen throughout, so there's always a way to dial things down. Now, when we're doing body weight upper body, a good way to do it is to push our body weight against gravity. So it will be a lot of on our hands, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up those movements. So you'll do an exercise where we do have some pressure in the wrists, and then the next move, I'll get you off your wrists. Following move, we'll be back on our hands, and then I'll get you off them, okay? So it shouldn't be too overwhelming. We're going to start class with a quick guided warm-up, focus on some mobility of the upper body, and we'll finish up with a quick cool down, just a couple stretches. Let's start kneeling. And arms reach out in front of you. Let's just start with some wrist circles, okay? So it doesn't matter the direction, just circling them. And then let's switch the direction of those circles. Now next up, we're going to kind of open up through the side body, a little rib cage mobility. Circle for 3, 2, 1. I want you to tent your fingertips wide. Now let's take our right arm, sweep it up. You're going to reach tall, and then you're going to side bend up and over to the left. So we're nice and open through this right side body. On an exhale, we rotate down. On an inhale, we rotate up. One more this side. Come through your side bend. Let's bring it through center. Now your left arm reaches up. First, grow tall, and then side bend over to the right. As we exhale, we rotate down. As we inhale, we rotate up. So we're opening up through the side body and mobilizing through the thoracic spine with this rotation. One more. Come through your side bend. From here, I want arms reaching overhead, and I want you to come to a full kneel. Now we're going to do a little combo. I'm just going to turn to face the side, opening up through the backs of the arms. I want you to bend the elbows, flip the palms, tap yourself on the back, straighten those arms back up. Now we're going to hip hinge. As we do, you sweep your arms back behind you. Give me a tricep kick here. And we just move like that. Upright, pat yourself on the back, sweep, and kick. So we're opening up through the backs of the arms here. We'll have a good amount of tricep work today. Stay open through the chest, long and neutral through the spine as you do this. We're going to hold the hip hinge up next. We'll trace some arm circles. Last rep here. And stay in your hinge, arms in front of you, and we're just going to circle up, out, and around. So these are big circles, but not so big that you're flaring open through the front of your rib cage. One more this direction. And then just switch. Same circles, just reverse it. Hands are going to come to the mat up next. We'll start with knees down in 3, circle for 2, and 1. Plant those hands down so you're in a tabletop position. To start, keep your knees down. We're going to retract and protract the shoulder blades. So the scapula sliding in towards each other and then wide towards your armpits. This is a foundational movement for a lot of upper body moves, especially push-ups, okay? We retract as we lower in our push-up. You have to protract the shoulder blades to get back up. Now we're going to keep this going, but we're going to do it in a bear plank just to challenge the serratus muscle a little more. So I want you to tuck your toes under, lift those knees to a 2-inch hover, and then go back to the retraction and protraction. Now we're trying to maintain a neutral spine as we do this. So it's just the scapula gliding across our back for 3, knees down in 2, last time. Knees come down, bum on your heels. We're going to build just a little heat in the arms. So I want you to start palms face down. It's a reach and a pull. It's a high row. Now I want you to think back to that retraction we were just doing. They retract as the elbows slide back and reach. So don't think of this movement as originating from your elbows pulling back. Think about the scapula initiating it, gliding in. Palms are going to face up towards the ceiling next. We're going to open and close the arms in 3, 2, 1. Reach them forward, flip the palms, open and close, open, close. Again, just finishing up our warm-up by building a little heat. Not flaring open through the ribs as the arms go wide. Third move, arms will stay out wide, palms will face forward, then we'll just flip them back, forward in 4, 3, hold wide in 2, 1. So palms face forward, then back. Bend, stretch with the elbows as you flip, forward and back. We're going to go through those 3 moves one more time, and then I'll show you our circuit. Palms face the floor. We reach and pull with that high row in 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach and pull, reach and pull. Staying neutral through the spine. So as you pull back, you don't arch into your lower back. You don't flare open through the ribs. 4, palms face up. 3, we spread in 2, 1, palms up. Open, close, spread them wide, back to center. You know where we're heading next? We'll hold the arms wide. We'll reach, or we'll bend and stretch with that flip of the palms forward and back. In 4, 3, 2, hold them wide. Flip the palms face forward, bend, stretch, back, bend, stretch, forward, bend, stretch, back. Right to the end. So I'm going to show you a preview of our 5 exercises. Again, 3 times through the circuit. In 4, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's your preview. First up, push-ups, hands under shoulders, elbows are going back at an angle. If you need to modify, you can drop to your knees at any point. From there, we're going to come into a prone position. We'll focus on the posterior side. It's going to be an extension of the spine as you do a bent fly with the arms. You hold the extension, give me another bent fly, and then everything lowers down. Third exercise, tricep dips. So for that one, we are going to use our bench or our coffee table, or you can just do it on the mat if you don't have access to one, okay? Fourth exercise, you're in a forearm plank position. It's going to be a single arm fly, keeping the torso square. Then you're going to drop the heels, rotating open into a side plank. You reverse it back to start other side. First fly the arms, staying square. Then we rotate everything open, square it off and close. Fifth and final exercise, you're going to be in a bear plank position, 2 tricep dips. Step your legs long to a plank, single arm march on one side, single arm march on the other. Step the knees into that bear plank, 2 tricep dips, send them long. All right, 40 seconds on, 20 off, let's go. So we're going to start with push-ups. A note about push-ups. We're not going to have our arms in tight to the sides of our body, although that is a valid push-up variation. And we're also not going to have our arms straight out to the side in a T. Our elbows are going to go back at a 45-degree angle, so almost think an A shape or a triangle shape, okay? All right, from your feet, or to modify, from your knees. We're going to spread out through the hands so that all the weight isn't right in that wrist. We have equal weight in the fingertips too. Hands are going to be right under shoulders. We're active through the legs, so I want you to squeeze through the quads and glutes, push the mat away so we are stable through the shoulders. We're going to start with 40 seconds of push-ups. Inhale on the way down, exhale as you press yourself up. Let's go. Inhale it down, exhale it up. Ooh, my bun is hitting my couch. If you need to modify, those knees come down. If your knees are down, make sure you're not piking your butt up to the ceiling. Okay, so we keep them level. I'm actually going to modify from my knees today. I just got over being sick. I can just tell that my form is not on point from my feet right now. And rest, 20 seconds. All right, so we're going to come to a prone position up next. Hit the posterior side. Your legs can either be together, or if that causes pinching in the low back, separate them about hips distance. Neutral through the spine, so engage through your core. Elbows are bent. We're going to come into a spinal extension as we kind of do a reverse fly, opening those forearms. And then we'll hold at the top and do another one. So we lift and open the arms. Now tap them to the floor, fly them wide. Everything lowers down. We're not crunching into the lower back as we do this. So think of lifting from your mid back and retracting those shoulder blades to fly the arms. We don't crane the neck, so your gaze is at the front edge of your mat. It's not like a drastic look up. Woo, rest. All right, so we have tricep dips up next. So hands are going to come to the edge of that coffee table, or I will have the modification playing if you're doing it on the floor. Roll open through your chest, but connect to your abdominals, okay? Now I want you to keep your body pretty close to your bench as you do this. Wrap your triceps back. Elbows are going to go straight back and press them up. Now, if you do this with your knees bent and your feet in, it is going to be a little easier. If you are looking to advance this exercise, straighten out your legs. Now notice I'm keeping my body really close to the bench. It's not out here. If I bring my body away from the bench, it's going to cause my shoulders to roll forward, and I don't want that. Rest. All right, we're going to come to a forearm plank position. It's going to be a fly on one side. Drop the heels, open up. So in your forearm plank, you want your feet about hips distance apart or maybe even a smidge wider. Forearms are parallel. Let's go. Keeping your hips square to the floor. First, just lift up that arm. Then drop the heels. Everything rotates open. Square off your torso. Then lower the forearm, other side. So core control and a big challenge for our shoulders here. Woo, rest. Okay, now we're going to be in a bear plank position, 2 tricep dips. We step back to a full plank position, single arm march on one side, single arm march on the other. Spread out through those hands, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll tuck the toes under, bring the knees to a hover. To modify, though, keep your knees down. Wrap those triceps back so the creases of your elbows are pointing forward. 2 little tricep dips at small. Step your legs to a plank. Single arm march down and up on one side, down and up on the other side. Step your knees in. So when you do that march, it's almost like you're doing a tricep push-up on one arm while the other march is down and up. In the tricep dip, elbows go straight back towards your thighs. And rest. All right, we have a long recovery here, okay? In between the circuits, because I want you to be able to push your hardest when we're in it. So we'll start back at the top of those push-ups. And a note, another option for modifying the push-ups instead of dropping to your knees, you can have your hands elevated on your bench or coffee table, and you can do your push-ups from there, okay? So we have lots of options for you to take. So pick the variation of push-ups you're going to do. I'm going to start from my feet for a couple, and then I'm going to do knees down. Let's spread out through our hands, hands under shoulders, and remember, elbows going back at about a 45-degree angle. Stay very active through the legs. Let's go. 40 seconds of push-ups. I want you to think length through the back of your neck as you do this, so that we're not just dipping our head towards the floor. We keep the neck in line with the rest of our spine. I care about quality over quantity, so don't feel like you have to rush. Rest. Okay, we're going to come to that prone position. Now we're not lifting the legs, but we're very active through them. I'm going to press them down firmly into the floor. Brace through your core so that we're neutral through the pelvis, elbows bent in kind of a goalpost shape. We'll do spinal extension as we fly those arms, and then we'll do a fly at the top. So really focusing in on mid-back here. Keep pressing the top of those feet into your floor. And as you lift up, I want you to think length through the crown of the head, so long spine and then up, so that we really extend from the mid-back rather than crunching into the lower back. Woo, rest. Okay, tricep dips. So we come to our bench, or you can always do it on the floor, legs straight harder. First, open through the chest, okay, but connected to your rib cage. So wrap the triceps back so the creases of your elbows point forward. And let's go. Tricep dips. Advanced legs are straight. Now as you bend the elbows, don't roll your shoulders forward. You got to think open. Rest. All right, we're going to come to that forearm plank position. Fly, rotate, reverse it. Start with your forearms parallel. Push the mat away so that we're active through the shoulders. Feet can be hips distance apart. Let's go. You fly and open. Square everything off. A lot of core control. Only when things are square does that forearm come down. So really break it up into 4 parts. Rest. All right, bear plank, 2 tricep dips. Sit back to full plank, single arm march, one side, then the other. Wrap those arms back. Creases of the elbows point forward. Knees are going to come to that hover. Let's go. 2 little tricep dips. Stay neutral through the spine, just a little hinge. Step back to your plank. Single arm march on one side. March on the other. Step it in. Rest. Okay, 40 seconds to recover. We have one more time through the exercises, and then you're done with this quick body weight, upper body strength workout. So for the push-ups, if you're struggling, if you typically always modify from your knees and you just can't get that push-up from your feet, the elevated hand option is a great in-between step, okay? So I'd highly recommend trying that. Hands elevated, feet on the floor. All right, pick the version you're gonna do. Let's get into it. Spread out through those hands. Push the mat away so you're starting in a stable shoulder position. Let's go. Rest. Come to a prone position. Going to do that bent fly with the extension. Brace to the abdominals so you're not pushing down and tilting the pelvis. Elbows bent. Push the tops of your feet down into the floor. If you feel pinching in your low back, then instead of having the legs together, try having them a little wider. Everything lifts and opens. One fly at the top. When you lift those arms up, think of retracting the shoulder blades together. Hopefully you guys can't hear all the yelling happening outside of my window. Loud neighborhood. Full of Italians, so especially loud. I can say that because I'm Italian. My whole family screams. Woo, rest. Okay, triceps. Either elevated on your bench or down on the floor. Staying open through the shoulders, okay? So they're not rolling forward as we dip down. They're staying open. Remember, keep your butt pretty close to the bench. Let's go. Option to straighten those legs if you want them harder. Elbow creases forward, so the elbows are shooting straight back. Unlike a push-up where I do want the elbows going out at a slight angle. Woo, rest. Okay, down on the mat for our final two. We'll be in that forearm plank position with that 4-part combo, all about core control and shoulder stability. Stay active through the legs as you do it. Forearms parallel. Feet about hips distance apart. Let's go. Fly. Rotate. Rotate. Return the arm. When you rotate open, don't sink down into this bottom shoulder. Keep pushing the floor away. Woo, rest. All right, final exercise with that combo. Bear plank, tricep dips, step to plank, single arm march, one each side. Knees can be down whenever needed to modify. All right, final 40 seconds. Wrap those triceps back, creases of your elbows point forward. 2, little tricep dips. March, march, step it in. Whew, and done. Awesome job. Let's find a child's pose. Knees wide, butt back to your heels. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling, forehead to the mat. I'll bring you through a quick cool down. Now, keeping your knees down, I just want you to shift forward onto your forearms. Bring your knees in a little bit. And now from here, first just walk your elbows out like an inch. Now start to send your hips back. And I want you to bring your hands like you're patting yourself on the back. So we get a little tricep stretch here. So your bum is kind of in the air, elbows down. Almost like a puppy stretch, opening up to the backs of the arms. Coming forward, let's come up to straight arms in a tabletop. We'll thread the needle. Left arm weaves under right, cheek to the mat, and then walk that right arm forward. Breathing into your mid-back. And let's switch sides. Right weaves under left. Left arm walks forward. Walking back in, come through center, sit your bum on your heels, and let's just finish the way we started with some wrist circles. And just reverse the direction. One final breath, you're going to inhale, arms reach up, exhale, release. And that is your class. Awesome work.